What's up, goobers? Okay, let's see if this is working. Gonna wait for that, YouTube delay just to, confirm that my mic is going through. What's up, goobers? Okay, let's see if this is working. Gonna wait for that, Okay, yeah, looks like it's working. Awesome. Okay, so I guess this is my first stream post-debut. Gonna be taking apart my 3-pound robot injection, which has competed at 7 events, with me driving in 6 of them. It's competed at National Havoc Robot League's March and June qualifiers. Let's see. The Laterno Red Dirt Rumble, Rice University's Rice Robo Rumble, the University of Houston Cougar Cup, Texas Robot Combat's, I think May event? Yeah, end of May event. And my buddy Brian, who's on my team on BattleBots on Bloodsport, he took injection up to, I think it was Ohio or Indiana, Circle City Con or Circle City Clash, I think. And so he borrowed injection and drove her around. So we're gonna take this robot apart on the workbench, and actually haven't even taken the robot apart since Brian brought her back. So yeah, there might be some fun surprises in there. I know that when I let him borrow it, he put his own electronics in there. So the electronics that we got in there, unless he already took them out, are not actually going to be my electronics, but I do have my electronics on hand, so yeah, we can go look at that. Yeah, and I just like to show off my full body mocap because it's really cool and fun. Whee! Okay, and if you hear like glug glug glug, I'm drinking water because I need to drink water. Soon I will have a prop tracking in there so that you see an actual bottle of water. But, yeah. Okay. Oh wow, so I have at least 11 minutes till the robot fight video, because I just took like all the fights I want to feature and put them in like one video and edited out like the beginning and the end and some like unsticks. I like burping. Anyway, yeah, so I added to that stuff, and it's all spitting out into one video. So we're gonna be watching those in between some bits of the robot dissection, and then I'm gonna see how fast I can put together. Because one of the things in robot combat that you need to be able to do is when you're in the pits, like between the first few matches, you might have like a couple hours or more between your first matches. But then after that, once you get into like bracket and things start getting tighter, then it can be like up to like as close as like 20 minutes minimum between matches. So you have to be able to take your robot apart quickly, do your repairs, and put them back together really fast. So yeah, we'll see how fast I can reassemble after that. But yeah, so hope that this GoPro is working, because it's the GoPro turned itself off. That's not good. Okay, let me go configure that. Not enough power. Your GoPro will power. Okay. Hold on. I need to go get a longer USB cable and reconnect that. And this will probably make my mocap go crazy once again. It usually does when I get to the back of my office, but I did order a third lighthouse, so that third lighthouse should help stabilize things, just because like there's all these like I'm gonna be moving around basically every corner of this office, and oh yeah, I'm like straightening out like an invisible USB cable. I mean, it's not invisible to me IRL, but it's invisible to you in the stream. Yeah, so I'm literally behind a bunch of monitors right now, so they're obscuring the what's it called? It's obscuring everything, and probably make my tracking go crazy. Okay, GoPro. Hope you'll be happy very soon. Yeah, last stream the GoPro fell off during the stream, and that was kind of crazy. You hear like everything crashing and stuff. Hopefully it doesn't happen this time. But yeah. You go adjust the tape and stuff. Let me know if the volume and everything sounds good. Like, if the music could be louder or quieter, if my voice could be louder. Okay, GoPro, USB connected. That's good. Okay. For whatever reason... Oh, I think I know what's going on. No, why is it stuck at, like, 11? Well, whatever. It's gonna take longer to get the robot stuff dissected, so we can just wait on that. It looks like that, It looks like that at least it's going still. Alright. Now let me check if the GoPro is connected. Okay, cool. Alright, I guess that, well, oh wait, let me turn off my, like, waist tracker so I don't get, like, all the weird stuff. Okay, so that's... Waist tracker is on. I'm flicking it. And let's disable that. And it's not weird. And then, by the way, this is what happens when I disable the feet trackers. Like, I know that there's an option in the kinematics library that I have to, like, give myself locomotion, so that's gonna be a feature later on. But, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll just keep... Well, I actually have some tech where it's, like, anytime in this view, or, like, if I'm in this view, then it actually automatically disables the feet tracker, since you can't even see that from, like, the camera. Okay, enough yapping about that. Let's go to the build. Where's the thingy? Avatar view. Okay. Oh no, that's not right. Where is it? Turn on studio view. I thought studio view was on. Why didn't it do that? Okay, let's just transition to this. And, oh, I know what's going on. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's switch that to avatar view. But then, let's set the camera to the workbench. And then I have this stuff like all automatic, but it's not happy about it right now. Well, I mean, it was happy, but I actually forgot how my own thing works, but... Okay, cool. So, we're here. Let me just remember, like, how exactly my own thingy was supposed to work. Oh, right. I was supposed to turn off the desktop view. So it is actually working correctly. I just forgot that it's all automatic, so it wasn't going to switch to my workbench while I'm sitting at my desk. It was going to show my desk view. So let's turn off the screen and have it on window. Well, also turn off the window mode because we're going to want... Okay, perfect. This is what we want. So this is what you'll see when I'm on the screen, but I'm not actually streaming anything. And this will soon show the fight footage. And then when I walk over to the workbench, everything like automatically changes. And oh my gosh, is my mocap like all dookie again? Let's see. Oh wait, I can't see myself because every time I turn, I like... Okay, it is working. I actually have like an iPad up here, so that like I can monitor the chat. Anyway, what was he doing? Oh yeah, I was taking part of a robot. So, first, we're actually going to rebuild part of the robot, just because this is not the state that the robot looks like when it starts to match. Because, again, I haven't actually touched this bot since, like, June. Oh yeah, this robot's name is Injection. She is a 3-pound hammer saw. You can see, like, the logos and stuff. And so we're going to keep this copy of Injection completed and just reference. And let me go configure this front wedge. Oh, wait, I think that's ripped out. Okay, those holes should still be good, I think. And so I'm going to show the different configs when I'm going to show the different configurations when we rebuild. But right now, what you're seeing is the baleen configuration with the all TPU wedges, or all TPU forks. I mean, when it's all like put together, it looks like a wedge. But this is what I like to use for anti-horizontal, and I think it's working pretty well against vertical discs, but not beaters. And is that hole even? Yeah, that hole is not damaged. Okay, cool. And this actually is not how I put together, because there's like supposed to be like these like flangey washer things, like custom super washers. I don't even know what they're called. I'm not a mechanical engineer. I just do this for fun. But yeah, this is I want to get this more into the screen, but this is like a really awkward piece to put on, so I have to do it at the edge of the workbench. Okay, so this is what Injection normally looks like coming to battle. You have front configuration here is the baleen TPU forks, which right now they're not ground scraping. Oh, it's because this back wheel is actually, this back tire is missing from some battle damage, so it's like lifted up in the front. Normally it's like kind of ground scraping though. And so this is my configuration against horizontal weapons, since like I guess it absorbs the energy before it really can do damage, and like the TP is kind of sacrificial. And I also like to use it against vertical discs, because they can't really get any good catch on here. Something I want to do is a config where it's almost the same, but like the solid bit here is also slotted, so that like if the vertical disc goes through, then like it just kind of goes through, it doesn't catch on anything and like cause the bot to flip over and all that crazy shit. So yeah, it's really mostly just the front configuration that changes. I have top configs. I have multiple ones actually for overhead opponents, so like other hammer saws, the occasional like drill, or like I forgot what the thing is called that's like not a hammer saw, but like it's still saw, articulated saw. And so I either have like really fat chunky TPU blocks, I think that we call them cheese blocks, and I also have custom like titanium top plates. Titanium's really fun because it makes like white sparks when it gets sparky. But yeah, when you improvise the top of the cover, or the top of the robot against like hammer saws, we've been calling those cope cages, kind of based off some recent modern warfare things with like the drones. But yeah. Okay, so I guess, do we want to start taking apart the robot? I guess we do. I'm just wondering where to start, since like normally I know where to go with like, okay, I'm gonna upgrade this part, or oh no, this part's damaged, so I need to upgrade this. But this is just taking it apart for fun, so it's like, wow, there's so many choices. Well, first, these gigantic syringes. Well, actually, it's not as big as this syringe here, where this is actually the power switch. So there's this hole, and you can turn the robot on and off by screwing this hex tip in to it. It's not going to turn on because there's no battery in there right now. Or if there is a battery, it's disconnected. If it's not disconnected, that would have been concerning. But yeah. So these two syringes, they serve as weapon locks so that you can move them safely. If the robot actually turns on and the motor starts spinning, it's not going to hurt anyone because it can't actually move. It can twitch, but it's not going to, like, get up to, like, deadly speed. Because, like, yeah, this is what happens when you fuck around and find out. You got big scars on your arm and stuff, or worse. So, yeah. We need to be safe doing this stuff. But also having fun. So, yeah. Let's take the weapon locks off. Well, yeah, let's do that. Or at least first, let's just confirm that there's no battery in there. So, removing the top plate is pretty easy. Let me get a dish. There we go. Magnetic dishes from Harbor Freight. They're super cheap, and they're very useful. So, I'm actually using a mixture of machine screws, and, plastites. I'm trying to remember what the actual, like, I guess scientific or like, neutral term for, plastites are. I think it's, like, self-tapping or self-threading, tri-lobe screws for plastic or something. But, yeah, and so these top plates are currently carbon fiber, but I actually have a Tegris that I want to use instead, since, like, don't quite need carbon fiber for it, and I honestly kind of hate working with carbon fiber, because, like, it looks cool, but, like, the splinters, they really suck to touch, and if you process it unsafely, then you can breathe in, like, cancer dust, and it's not cool. But yeah, so this is where the battery normally lives. I mentioned that I let Brian borrow the robot. He actually messaged me the other day saying, oh no, I accidentally kept the batteries, I'll give it back to you sometime. But we can still test it out with some of these batteries, although they're a bit big, but they'll fit. But yeah, so I'm gonna take off these two top plates. And so you'll see that I have actually two drills. This is the one I normally have at home. This one's like not three times, this is like a third heavier than this one, which, no, this is actually more like 50 times heavier, not 50% heavier than this one. So this is what I use at home, except right now, because this one's cute. And this is the one that I actually bring to events, because every pound matters when I'm flying, and I don't need the power of 20 volts. I can get by with 12 volts. Let's take off the other side. Yeah, I'm a DeWalt house here. I stand DeWalt. At least for anything with batteries. If it doesn't take batteries, then I just use whatever is the best for the price that I'm wanting to pay for it. But yeah, and I also prefer to use Torx, just because, I don't know, I like the pattern, and it seems to stay in better than Hex. Like, Hex is pretty good. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think that Torx is a little better. Okay, so yeah, this is, oh no, I'm hearing the cursed, doodoops. Something disconnected. Well, it looks like it's not the webcam, or any of the trackers, so that's okay. Is it one of the trackers? No, it's not one of the trackers. Yeah, Harbor Freight is pretty poggers. I like to follow the Adam Savage rule of, like, if you, like, the first time you buy a tool, just buy whatever is cheapest but still works for what you need it to do, and then once it breaks, or once you kind of really hate it or want something more comfy, then upgrade to the nicest tool that you're willing to pay for. Yeah, Milwaukee's good. Just that, like, once you buy a couple, like, power tools, then it's just kind of better to lock into, like, a battery environment. Like, I know they have, like, adapters so that you can, like, plug, like, a Milwaukee battery into, like, a DeWalt drill, but I know, something just seems kind of janky about that. I don't like having to be like, okay, I have my battery, but I can't find the adapter, or being like, oh no, there's some like weird thing that causes this battery to drain all the way if it's not connected properly, and whatever. It's just easier if I just stick to like one environment. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of good tool families out there, but it's fun to take teams and be tribalist about your favorite power tools. But yeah, okay, so we're in here, and yeah, so this is actually Brian's receiver, and yeah, he uses Spectrum controllers, and so I'm gonna have to give that back to him. So he'll give me back the batteries, and he'll give me back my, what's it called? No, he'll give me back my batteries, and I'll give him back his receiver. But yeah, I'll need to show you the custom board that I made. I can't actually find it in this toolbox. Oh yeah, or not toolbox, tackle box. Which, by the way, this is like the way that I like to pack all of my parts, is I have like dedicated tackle boxes per robot, and I like to tape the sides of them, especially if I'm flying them. And they just stack easily. You can buy them at like Academy Sports for like $5 each. Yeah, I actually organize almost all my hardware with it, just at home also. But yeah. Okay, so what was I doing? So yeah, this is actually Brian's receiver. So I'm gonna go unplug that. And so I made these adapters for him too to make it easier to plug his stuff into my bot. But we'll get into the first electronics. I like to put bubble wrap in just to like add a little bit of air cushion and a little bit of gap, just so that like, let's say that another robot's weapon penetrates in there, just if it dodges it by like a millimeter, then it's safe. And it's like almost no weight. So I like to pad any like exterior walls with some bubble wrap. Plus, I guess it also probably is like some shock protection. I know. Also, the pink stuff. This is actually what my custom circuit boards get packaged in when they're assembled in China, like shipped here, and they're like anti-static, I think. So, yeah. All right. So I like to use 4-in-1. Okay, I can't really take it out while this is still here, but I like to use a 4-in-1 ESCs. So right now I'm using the Goku 4-in-1 AM32 ESC. This takes between 3 to 6S battery, and Injection uses 4S battery just because, I don't know, I've used it a lot. It's still pretty good. It's not as like crazy as like 6S, but like you also have higher reliability, I guess, or at least it's easier to make it more reliable, since I've heard that once you go like 6S or even higher, then you start having like reliability issues. And I'm using the what was I talking about? Oh yeah, so I'm using the Blitz Pro motors for the drive, but I'm actually going to be changing those out for the Blitz lights. By just because robotics, and I also have a Repeat Max first gen as like the hammersaw arm motor, but I'm also swapping that out for, what's it called? So if this is the Repeat, I'll look it up on the website. But yeah, there's not like, I wouldn't say that 6S is like super common, but it's becoming a lot more common than before. And I think that some robots like Impact do like a compromise and use like 5S, because like you get a bit more of that like turbo-ness out of it, but you don't start to run into electrical issues as much. But yeah, I'm gonna be upgrading this to whatever the Repeat motor is that like has like the 4 really long screws and is like kind of boxy, just because oh, that was ironic. I said just because, and talking about a Repeat product. The Blitz Pros have been working great. Let's see. Something that I've been having... Well, so if I take a direct hit, it'll survive a couple direct hits from, like, really good weapons, but, like, even so, it's still not invincible to that. I think that they are kind of overkill, though, for their weight. Or they're kind of overkill. Like, they do what they need to do, but they're also pretty big and heavy, so that's why I'm going to the Blitz Light. And, like, yeah, I guess that torque doesn't matter as much in terms of, like, pushing matches, because apparently you're going to be, like, limited by your friction and your grip on the floor. I guess it matters more if, like, you're fighting on, like, the West Coast or something and using, like, metal floors and using magnets for downforce. But if you're on, like, wood floors, which is, like, what Texas uses, what most of the East Coast events seem to be using, except I think G-Scroll, then the only real argument I've heard for, like, having higher torque on your wheels, on your drive, is if stuff gets jammed. But yeah. So one of the issues that I've been having is so it's not this one, it's probably in the other one, but, like, the M2 screws that hold the gearboxes together for, like, both of these, since, like, you can't see it because I have some TPU sleeves around the Blitz Pros, but they have, like, these, like, little M2 screws that go through, like, kind of perpendicular to the axle, and they tend to, like, I guess, wear out and strip out pretty easily. And so it's not an issue with the drive motors, but it's an issue with driving this hammersaw arm. And I don't think it's, like, necessarily a problem with, like, the with the quality of repeat products, because they, like, both the Just Cause and repeat products are really high quality. I think it's just kind of, like, the nature of that design, which is fine for drive, but I don't think it really works for hammersaws, which is why I'm moving to the one that has, like, the 4 parallel really long screws. So yeah, how's my video render? Oh, it'll be done in, like, a minute. Cool. Let's see, we're back here, right? Yeah. So yeah, there's a battery in there, so we can go take out the, weapon lock for the blade. So I'm using the repeat hub motor, for ants. It's been working really well. I used to use the Just Cause one, the orange one, and that one was working really well. The reason why I switched, which I'll definitely be explaining later, is not because of the motor itself, because both are really good motors. I recommend both of them. It's because the original design for injection had 2 arms. Let me see if I have like a box of the old parts and stuff. Yeah, perfect. So the old design for injection actually had, like, 2 arms instead of one big thick one, and so the difference between the repeat and the oh yeah, hey, I'm actually gonna be showing one of the Dreadbot matches. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. So what was I talking about? The difference between the two. Okay, so the repeat hub motor, it seems to be better suited for, like, mounting onto one side because it has, like, a shoulder bolt that goes all the way through, while the Just Cause hub motor uses 4 M4 screws on both sides, and so that one seems to be better used if you're, like, supporting on both sides. I have seen, I think that Mint, the builder of Usagi, actually modifies the Just Cause ones to, like, have a big, like, through shoulder bolt, to basically get the same kind of mounting that you can get out of the repeat ones, on the Just Cause hub motors. But yeah, both are great. I recommend both, at least for, hammersaw. At least, the ant ones work well for hammersaws, and they seem to be working really well, as, like, bigger weapons on, like, ant weights, so yeah. Alright, so we'll go talk about the arm redesign later. Let's keep tearing this down. So I mentioned before that I'm using machine screws on some parts, and these plastites on other parts, and so this part, a lot of the body is carbon fiber on the top. Then on the sides, these are UHMW. This part is UHMW. If you're not familiar with UHMW, I want to say it's ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. I don't know what makes that special, but I know that it's a really, really nice, tough, tenacious material that's still pretty rigid. Rigid enough to, like, use for, like, drivetrains with, like, belts and stuff. It's one of the few things that seems to be more tough than TPU to actually, like, rip apart. You can't 3D print it. You have to get it, like, machined or cut it yourself or something, but there's no way to 3D print it, at least not right now. Maybe that changes in the future. I don't know. I'm not a material science expert. But then this part is a TPU, and I have aluminum standoffs inserted into here, which I might want to upgrade it, or not upgrade it, I might want to change it so that these are square standoffs, if that even exists, instead of hex, because, like, the hex ones just kind of, like, they can, like, just start kind of rolling in and not really stay in place, and, like, anyway, so, yeah, I guess let's take off the drivetrain. Yeah, Brian put his eruption sticker on here, and here are the stickers, that are on injection, because y'all saw the top stuff. I made this logo. If you can guess what game I'm referencing, that would be awesome. And this is the character is that's injection. That's her. She was drawn by Emil Ghana, who also drew one of my older profile pictures, and she's open for commissions. So I'll go. Actually, yeah, I can drop that link in, or at least her @ and you can go look her up. Emil Ghana injections chibi character. All right, cool. So yeah. Let's also take off the front config. Just because it's kind of getting in the way. All right. So to take off the weapon assembly and actually, let's take off the weapon assembly first. So to do all that, we just go from the bottom. Ooh, there's gonna be some spicy screws to deal with that I'll have to take the vampires out for. Because it's pretty clear that a lot of these are too deformed to take out with the actual Torx bit. So yeah. Here's the weapon assembly, and let me get my flush cutters. So I like to use zip ties for cable management. So now I can show the, what's it called? The speed controller, the ESC. Let me just unplug all of these. And so, if you noticed, all of the wiring kind of goes through this central bridge here, which I realized I just exposed a very, well, it's okay, because injection's going to go over, like, a complete redesign. But, yeah, all of, like, a bunch of important wires for the hammersaw arm, the right side drive, and the battery just go through this, like, central channel. So it's all really dense, but if you get, like, a really nice nasty vert hit here, then I'm dead. But yeah, let's keep taking this apart. And I'm using the just cause PCB switch. Oh wait, that's actually, that is not T15, that is T10. So I've been using the just cause power switches for years. I actually am not a fan of the finger tech switches anymore. I wanted to really like them because they're a bit more compact and kind of easier to design into, like, to build your design, or to build into a design. But the screws, they just strip a lot. And I remember when I was helping out Zach and Diana with Bot Bash Party, a lot of their robots used the finger tech screws or the finger tech switches, and they just stripped like crazy. So yeah, that's kind of something that worries me. Oh wow, why is that damaged? That's crazy. I wonder if that's just like from, I wonder if that's battle damage, or if it's just like, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. I'm gonna be, I want to try out the puppy switches. I mean, I actually bought the puppy switches already, so it would make sense if I bought them. And oh crap, oh, okay, I guess it is working. I was like, why did my avatar just move out? Why is it doing the no signal thing? Well, actually, well, no, we're not going to, whatever. Oh no, something just duped again. Okay, yeah, I'm buying a, Thunderbolt hub, so hopefully that'll stabilize the USB connections, because the Steam VR trackers, they're very bandwidth hungry, I guess, and they don't really play well, especially if like you're driving it with a laptop, especially if you're using like 6 trackers. But anyway, okay, so let's take off the drive pods. I technically don't know if these are pods. I don't know what exact people mean by like this is the drive pod, if it's like just a easy to remove assembly, or if like you have to have like the speed controllers or something embedded into them. Let's see. Yeah, that's still good. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. We're gonna have some really spicy screws to deal with that have to bring out the vampires. Well, technically these aren't the vampire brand ones, but like they're still from like the same factory. I don't know why they actually split the branding, but this is like the engineer brand Negisaurus ones, but either way, both of them are literally the exact same, like they have the exact same like greeble pattern, whatever we call them. But when the screw heads are way too deformed, like, let's see if you can see this pretty well. Screw heads are so deformed that you can't use anything normal to get them out, so you have to just grab them by the head. And I'm gonna go get my trash can so I can just toss these, because there's no use in keeping these. Unless there is actually use for them and I don't know and I'm wasting them. But yeah, we have a pretty bare robot chassis now. So the TPU is actually all one piece. And I forgot why I did that on here, but I do have this bit here so that like those wires that go across, I could like just zip tie around it. Yeah, I could definitely pad that with more TPU and because yeah, there's quite a bit more room up here. That's a good idea. But yeah, let's just finish taking this apart. As I said, I was gonna do like a full disassembly. And so this bottom plate is material called a Garolite. I like to call it Gatorade when I'm being silly, but it's Garolite, also known as a G10. And wow, is like every single one of these screwed up? I mean, they're also literally screws, so I guess that they're always screwed up. That's gonna take a while, so I'll just yap. So G10, I like to work with it more. I think I just want to replace all of my carbon fiber usage with either G10 or Tegris, because I just don't like to deal with the carbon fiber splinters. G10 is fiberglass based, so it's still not really good for you, and you still shouldn't breathe it in, but it's a lot less painful at least. It's kind of just mildly irritating, but at least it's not like an invisible needle that is super hard to dig out. Okay, so that one just stuck. I already know what's gonna be up with that one. You know, actually, I don't think it's gonna be worth the time on this stream to do it, because it's literally just this TPU print and this Garolite panel, which I cut out at the makerspace with CNC mill. I have it like spraying coolant all over it so that it keeps the dust contained. But yeah, it's literally just two pieces. We're just gonna leave it here. Let's take apart one of the drive pods. The one with the broken tire, or the one not broken? Let's just do the one with the broken tire. Okay, so this metal triangular piece, which is kind of hard to show. Wonder if you can see it. That's what I was talking about by kind of like a super washer or like a flange thingy. So that, like, one thing that is kind of an issue with TPU and like screws is since the TPU is flexible, it's actually possible to pull screws through the holes. It'll just kind of stretch around it. So yeah, I'm using threaded inserts. That's what I forgot to explain. So I'm using these hexagon aluminum threaded inserts. Oh, and they're also hard to take out because I actually use let me go get the bottle of it. Let me go get the bottles, actually. Wherever they are. So, the three, things I like to use as secure fasteners. I like to use, Permatex Orange. It's between blue and red Loctite. I've just found that blue Loctite is it's almost pointless, because I used to just apply it super liberally all over all my screws and stuff, and it would still come out. But red Loctite is permanent, and that's not poggers. But this stuff is, like, kind of in between. It's really good, so I recommend Permatex Orange for robot combat. This stuff is VC3. It's really interesting because, like, the normal workflow for thread lockers is that you apply it on, you screw it in, and then it takes about 24 hours or so to fully cure. At least a couple hours to be useful. But this, instead what you do is you pre-apply it to screw, you let it dry in the air for, like, I think 30 minutes or so, and then you can put it in, and it just works instantly. It doesn't strengthen over time. The strength is just instant right there. And so, if you have time, you can pre-prepare all your screws ahead of time. Oh no, they're not thread inserts, they're standoffs. Yeah. Let me show you. And it looks like I'm running low on standoffs, so I can't really put new ones, so we're just gonna leave those in. Yeah, these are the ones that are inside the TPU. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the thread lockers. So yeah, this is really good to, like, pre-prepare a bunch of screws ahead of time, ahead of the event. And then if you need to change something out, then you don't have to worry about, like, oh, is this gonna cure in time? It's just gonna be ready right away, and that's pretty cool. And then green Loctite, this is amazing for keeping stuff from slipping off of your wheels. I actually need to plug in my heat gun, because that's what well, technically this is a hot air station for, like, SMD soldering and stuff, but, like, I honestly use it more of a heat gun than, like, for soldering. Where's my timer? Because I have a timer that I like to use on these things. There it is. So that so I can, like, not worry about having to unplug it on time and accidentally starting a fire or something. Let's say the stream's probably gonna be like 2 hours or so, but let's set it 4 hours in case. But yeah, so I like to use green Loctite to keep things on the axles. Why was I plugging in the? Oh yeah, the hot air station, the The easiest way to remove the green Loctite is to heat it up. That just kills the bond pretty fast. And so yeah, let's look at the drivetrain. So these are the Blitz Pros, and I have a SM. Is it S3M? I think is what that belt is called. It's whatever the FingerTech belts are. And so yeah, the wheels are Vitaflex 30. They're purple because I put a purple mica powder dye in there. Nice part about mica powder is that it's really hard to mess up your Vitaflex using it. Some of the dyes, it'll end up making it so that the stuff never cures, but I think that mica powder is like inert or something, so it just doesn't do anything. Like, you can't pour unlimited amounts in it, but you don't have to be that careful with using mica powder. And so it's rare, but sometimes the tires rip off if the battle's super duper nasty. But yeah, you can see kind of the pattern that I used to secure the tire on, where it actually has like these interfacing loops. And yeah, let's take this part further so I can show what the stuff is. And so something that is actually kind of fun about the Torx drivers is that, like, you can actually use them with, like, hex socket. Like, T10 works really well for, like, the M3 socket heads, and then the step above that works well for the M4 screw socket heads. And I'm using yeah, so I'm actually using the repeat hubs, or are they the hubs? Yeah, the gold ones. I actually had to machine the corners off of them because the radius was so small on this pulley, which you can see like some elephant's footing here, which is not good. I'll have to really dial that in, but I think I was kind of rushed for this upgrade, which is why I wasn't really able to tune that. But yeah, it's super duper close to the radius of that I had to actually trim that a bit. So next time I'll design it a little bit bigger so I don't have to spend the extra time to modify that. But yeah, this just goes into here, and it goes in with the 4 screws. And this is the back wheel stuff. And so it's kind of, I was looking at Jameson Go's Megatron, his latest version of it, which has these backslung treads, but I didn't have the time to do treads, so it's like, I'll try to get the same advantages that Megatron gets out of that, but using wheels instead. And so the theory behind that, let me use the other robot to demonstrate. Where's like a straight edge? Let me go, oh, here's a piece of aluminum. So the theory is that when you have the arm swung back, then like a lot of builders, they just have the end dragging it against the floor, but then you don't get any of the benefits of like having the weight of the arm as like traction. But if you have it suspended in the air, like if I show this, let me check if this is like, if this makes sense with the camera angle. Yeah. So if you have this kind of configuration, then you do get the benefits of it, but the problem is that you can wheelie pretty easily. And so that's if you don't have the back wheels, or like some kind of back slung thing. And so Jameson Go, he put the he used treads that go to the back so that you can actually get more, you can get the traction benefits without wheeling it. And one of the benefits of using treads that my wheel configuration is missing is that you have a larger contact patch to the ground also. But I mean, it's engineering. Every design comes with its compromises and benefits. And so, yeah, that's why I decided to experiment with the little back wheels. And I think it works. I haven't driven a 2-wheel drive hammersaw though, or like this version without the back wheels, so that's actually something I should experiment to see if it really is doing something or if it's just like placebo effect. But yeah, so the way I constrain these is a bit different. And I don't know if it's a good way or if it's just a way that I happen to do it. But yeah, it's a bit of an annoying assembly too. So I'm using thread lock, or what's it called? Nylock nuts, I think. And this is I think it's M5 hardened, like 10.9 hardened steel, not shoulder bolts. What are they called? Partially threaded bolts, or partially threaded screws, I think. And so yeah, I have a washer here because it's the same problem where, like, if you have TPU and you have like a bolt that goes through, then you can actually pull a screw through all the way. So having that washer just helps a little bit. And so it goes there, and the width of this entire, like, not the entire wheel, but like the width from like here to here of like the single print is the distance between like the beginning, I guess, that face of the washer to the end of the not threaded part. And so that helps limit it so that, like, if this was like all the way here, then you actually, if you start spinning it, sometimes you actually kind of restrain yourself and like get friction from like it trying to screw or like thread itself or something. And so I have one of these, I think they're called flange nuts. I forgot the names of these things. I just know what the shapes and what they do. I was having this problem during the debut with that Lego set also. But yeah, I screw this in all the way. And so that's another important part with the partially threaded. And so that was kind of problem, is that I think it's a little bit too thick, but ideally I could tighten it all the way and it's not supposed to get stuck like that. I mean, just for demonstration's sake, let me just remove that washer so that, like, I can show what the intended behavior of it's supposed to be. So yeah, you heard that, like, I got that in all the way, but it's still loose. So even though I tightened it all the way, this is still free to spin. And so this goes into that hole in the UHMW. And then we have nylon lock nut on this end to secure it. Ouch, that hurt. I'm okay. And then put it back on. Just do this. But yeah, let's go to some of the fight video, because before I disassemble this part, I want to get to the why it's designed that way. But yeah. Alright, so just give me a minute, because I have never done this before, which is streaming a video that I pre-rendered, but like not having it set up as like an OBS source. Injection fight review.mp4. Okay, let me move some windows around so that I can be sane. Alright, let's turn off the background music. No, actually it's low enough, we don't need to. Okay, default audio out. Yeah, let's turn that on. And then... oh no, that's not VLC. Let me turn on VLC, because VLC is a bit better at, like, timestamps and stuff. Alright. Specific window. Let's set that to VLC. 3, 2, 1. And let's turn that on. And let's reset the transform on that video. Fit to screen. What was I doing? I forgot what I was doing. I'm gonna drink some water. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. Okay, I think I have it set up. Let's transition. Alright. Okay, so this is... Let me just make sure it's working. Let me wait for it to get to the other side. It kind of sucks that YouTube has like a 30-second... Okay, there we go. Alright, so, NHRL, March 2025 was the, first event that Injection showed up to. Oh wait, did my face caps... Oh no, my face cap stopped. I don't know why that stopped. When did it stop? Let me reset that. It's on the phone end, not the app end. Alright, there we go. Okay, so, NHRL, March 2025 was the first event that Injection went to, which, by the way, I do recommend eventually fighting at NHRL, but, it kind of sucks flying to, like, an event, and, like, with the very first time robot, and, learning all the gremlins there, but, yeah, at the same time, I guess when you book tickets for something, it kind of, like, book tickets for a flight and use up, like, your NHRL, like, reservation, it kind of really puts a fire under your ass to actually get something done instead of putting it off all the time. But, yeah. And so, Injection was a rushed build in, like, only, I think, 5 or 6 weeks. And so I didn't have time to even put in the proper driving stuff for her. And you can see that I have almost no control in this, and it's kind of a... Yeah, we'll just play out the match. And let me go move my avatar a bit to the side. There we go. 2, 1, so yeah, I have like no control. I'm like just kind of waddling my way there. And so, Till Death, let me pause it real quick. So Till Death is a ring spinner. That's the type of robot where like the top is like static, the bottom is static. You can see the wheels and it's invertible, and it's the outer ring of it that spins horizontally. They're really cool designs. They're also really difficult to make reliable. I don't think this is a problem that this robot has, though, during this match. I believe it spins the whole time. But yeah, it's a really cool type of design. It's also very difficult to make reliable, but when you can pull it off, it's really cool. So yeah, that was the, you can see that I have the, a longer version of that baleen wedge. Is it gonna switch over? Yeah, it is. You can see I have a longer version of it because I think I had more weight at the time to mess with. And so on those hits, it's just like absorbing it without taking any real visible damage. That's kind of a nice part about TPU, is that like, since it springs back, it kind of hides a lot of the damage for you, especially if you're using like a darker color. But yeah, and I also, because the Norwalk, or the National Havoc matches get released like a week ahead of time, when I saw that my first match would be against a ring spinner, I actually made this like a curved shape. And the intention was to try to corral it, which I don't know if I actually do that this match, just because my control is terrible. Yeah. And so you'll see that my weapon's not spinning, and that's intentional. There's kind of like, I guess, two kind of schools of thought with driving a hammer saw, is to cruise with your weapon on, because it'll it'll help you not have to wait time to spin up and drop the hammer. But also, I personally don't do it because I think it consumes more battery than I need to, and if I get stuck in the floor or on the wall because I embedded my blade in there, then that's really bad. I'm a sitting duck, or I can even get myself counted out. So I prefer to just make sure that I've corralled my opponent first and then go in for the kill. If I'm able to do that, that is. Oh, and it also makes it tougher to drive with, like, the gyro effect. But yeah, I'm taking these hits, but I'm not really, like... Yeah, and you can see I'm trying to cruise with it, but then the driving gets even worse. And I start hitting the walls, and it's really risky. Oh, just a mic check. Is my microphone volume good against the video, or should I turn down the video volume? I'll be checking the chat to see what y'all say on that. Also, let me know if, like, the background music isn't working with this either. But yeah, the horizontal, the ring spinner is also kind of having trouble having control, and that's just kind of thing with, like, big horizontal spinners, is that it makes driving straight pretty difficult. Just because, like, I guess the torque reaction, you're having to fight that a lot. Okay, good to know. Yeah, the spin-up time for injection, I want to say, is like 2 seconds or so, but it definitely gets longer the bigger the weight class is. But yeah, I just have, like, no control during this match, and I'm really just kind of banking on, can I keep Teardown's weapon down? That was, okay, so that was a cool hit, but it was also a very lucky hit. That was not intentional. And if it could have gone another way, and it could have broken my weapon. Thankfully, it didn't. So, that bit there, I really like this bit. This is my favorite part of the match. Because I just, like, just in a whole, like, U-shape, just grapple it. But unfortunately, I'm just not able to capitalize on that because I don't have, I'm controlling literally everything manually in here. I don't have my smart driving on, which 2FA and Data Collector, my previous 2 robots, had. Oh, I guess the background music is a little too low. I'll just crank that up a little bit. Tell me if it's too loud, though, and I'll turn it back down. But we're at -9 decibels now, and we were at 12. But yeah, this was coming in so hot and fast. I didn't have my usual smart driving controls that I have for, like, 2FA and Data Collector, where, like, it points at wherever the joystick is relative to where I am, using, like, a bunch of sensors in there and math and programming and stuff. And instead, I'm just doing normal tank drive with, like, the left side being the left stick and the right side being the right stick. And I'm also controlling the arm and the spinner manually. So I'll talk about the changes I made with those mappings later, which you'll definitely see in some upcoming matches. But yeah, the driving is really awful. Like, there's just no way around it. My driving is terrible in this match. Oh, I didn't realize you can actually see on, let me wait for a better angle. You can actually see here, yeah, perfect angle. You can actually see that the top plate for Till Death, which I think is aluminum, not aluminum, is titanium, is bent up. That was from, like, that really lucky swing, but honestly, that swing also could have gone the other way and destroyed my weapon. So, yeah. Yeah, this is just well, the point of showing these fights is to show the improvement over time, so, yeah, you have a pretty good baseline for, how injection started. Yeah, I actually forgot if that one was intentional. But yeah, I think that's the end of the match, because we're just driving back the sides. So yeah, I won that one by JD, but I'll be honest, it wasn't a great win, because I felt like I got lucky on that one hit, and we were both just kind of waddling around. But yeah, a win's a win though. And so yeah, I think the next fight basically illustrates some of the same problems that I was having. So this is my fight against Updraft, which was the third qualifying match that I had. And so I want to show this fight also, because in this case, I don't get lucky. And so Updraft is a four-wheel drive vertical beater. I believe it's from Toronto. And so you can see here, this is actually one of my first mistakes, is I tried to do like this thing with like a spring steel front, just because I didn't have time to order or make the titanium front the way that I wanted to. And I have like two smaller AR500 forks, and I have two long UHMW forks. I want to experiment with UHMW forks, and you'll see how that turns out. It's me. So yeah, I barely got my smart driving in, but it's not even calibrated. As soon as I get stuck on this one bit here, which, you know, that's another thing that sucks about having like long-ass forks. I think at this point, Updraft just kind of really takes control of the match, and I don't have any smart controls on the arm either, so there are a couple of times, I think, like, let's go back a bit. So, is it, no, it's not that one. So here, I don't know how, let me check what the shape of my arm was originally. Okay, no, it actually, I don't think it would have worked, because there's, like, barely any bend here. But, yeah, I guess that's kind of one of the design changes, is, this arm used to be straight-ish, and now there's a bend so that, like, if I'm going against, like, a, let's pretend this is, like, a beater. If I'm going against, like, a beater, then hopefully that little bit of bend lets me avoid that on the arm itself. Okay, let's get back to the match. But here, because I don't even have, like, my smart controls on the arm, I can't even capitalize on this moment, which, I don't know, if it wouldn't cause me to destroy myself on Updraft's weapon, it could have set me back on the right stage. But yeah, just, okay, so here, that UHMW fork, yeah, it just stays permanently deformed. For some reason, I thought it would spring back, but no, it just stays permanently bent, and then it becomes not only useless, it helps your opponent get under you. So yeah, don't do that. One of these forks comes off. This is still a weak point, by the way, on injection, is that the fork mounting really sucks. So, I need to readjust, or I need to redesign that for V2. But, yeah, this whole match basically plays out the same way as I just keep getting eaten over and over. My front game just gets destroyed. I don't know if my weapon is still any good, because the arm works, but I don't know about the saw itself. Yeah, I think there's some spinning there. I think at this point, I know that I don't really have a chance to actually win, so I just kind of treat it as an endurance test. Like, honestly, I hate tapping out. I I guess it makes sense if I have like an event the next week and really need to save on the parts, but if I can literally afford it in terms of cost of parts getting destroyed and... sorry, I'm adjusting my head. If I can literally afford it in terms of like the cost of the parts and also the time to repair and redesign, then if I'm getting absolutely slaughtered during a fight, I just like to let it happen kind of as like a stress test to see, okay, so I let a bot, a really good bot, take a bajillion hits at me, what breaks and what survives, what should I redesign? So this is why I don't tap out. But yeah, there's not going to be any surprise victories here. I'm just getting slaughtered. Let's see, is this one of the matches where one of my wheels gets locked up? Well, one of the wheels just flies off and gets yeeted. Being a chew toy right now. Woo! I'm gonna let this fight play while I try to find the control board. Oh, I already found it. Okay, that was easy. Alright. Oh. Forgot to lock the camera. Let's replay it again. I mean, nothing new happening. I'm just getting bits torn off every hit, but still surviving, which is at least good. Okay, so I guess I requested an unstick maybe? I don't know. Maybe they did? Is that in the match? Probably is. Yeah, so no surprise. I absolutely lost that one. And it was not even close, obviously. Alright, so one of the first changes I did after that was, let me get the Steam Deck out. I can't find the backpack for it, so I'm not gonna be doing like any live demonstrations. Plus, I mean, y'all are looking at the fights, which is cooler than the live demos. And I don't have a camera set up in my test box yet. Where the heck did I put my thingy? Is it bot control? Okay, so I kept talking about the driving issues from the first match and how I fixed some of the driving, but not all of it. So the first change that I did between NHRL May and NHRL March and Rice University's Robo Rumble was actually just dial in the programming for that. And so, yeah. The way that I drive injection is, let's see, did that switch over? Yeah, it did. Cool. So, the way that it works now, or actually, let me show you the way that worked at first. So, my first matches at NHRL, which I also lost my second match, and that was against the Titanium White, for definitely what I described was absolutely no control while driving, which is kind of disappointing because, well, I mean, no, it was definitely a deserved win for Titanium White. I'm saying it was disappointing because Titanium White has a giant-ass butane tank in the middle of it, and if I had the control to pierce and cause a big-ass explosion, that would have been super-duper fun, but I didn't get to do that because my driving was terrible because I didn't have the smart controls in. But, so the way that I had it programmed at first was like the super-duper basic method. My cat bit the top of the joystick anyway. And so, basically, if this was, like, forward, if this stick was forward, wait, let me make sure that you can see it in view. Yeah. So if this stick was forward, then it makes this spin forward, And if the stick goes backwards, it makes that side go backwards. Same thing here, forward, backward. And so if both of these are forward, then I move forward, both of these backwards, then I move backwards. If it's this way, then I turn, this way, then I turn. Who was it? I think it was Judy, from Texas Robot Combat. I think she called it Katamari Drive, but if you've played a Katamari Damacy, yeah, it's the exact same controls. Well, you can't do this in Mika Robot. Oh, that'd be a fun macro. But anyway, so the smart driving that I was talking about, what it would do instead is, if I move this one forward, then both of them go forward, this one goes backward, this goes backwards. Okay, so what's the difference between, like, is it arcade drive or whatever it is? So, part that makes it special, though, is the right joystick. So using a bunch of sensors in here, not a bunch of sensors, it's just like, it's just a single 9-DOF IMU. If I point it this way, then the robot points that way. Now if I point this way, you'd expect on a normal thing that we just keep spinning and keep spinning and keep spinning, but instead, if you turn it that way, then she goes until she's pointing that way, and then stops right there. If I go, say, down here, then go, and then if I go here, so that's field-oriented control. And I'm using the BNO 085. Yeah, this is the Adafruit breakout board. And so, yeah, this is actually what I want to show that I didn't have on hand. So, Brian, he uses a Spectrum receiver for his, like, pistol grip. And I am using this custom control board that I made, which has an ESP32 S3. I think that's S3. And BNO 85. This is the what's it called? The buck converter, whatever you want to call it. And so what's it called? The speed controller plugs in to here. There's an adapter that I made for Brian. Let me take those off. Yeah, I'm actually not sure what tank drive is, because I always thought tank drive meant the controls were, like, split like that, but I also hear that's just the way that a drivetrain is set up. Okay, so this is actually hot glue, and I like to use purple hot glue, because purple is my favorite color, and it's very visible. But in Robot Combat, if you're unfamiliar, we like to use hot glue to secure the connectors, because it's, like, it's secure enough that it doesn't come off during a match. But it's also easy enough that when you're taking it apart in the pits, you can just peel it off with your fingernails, or heat it up a little bit and just pull it out. It's very cheap. Almost every team has a hot glue gun packed in their bag. So yeah, that's how I like to keep connectors together. And so this plugs into here, and yeah, I know it's the wrong size because I ran out of the correct size, and I didn't have time to swap it or something, I don't know. And so direct connection to the battery that goes into the back, which powers the rest of it. Where is it? Board power. I got this label maker that's really cool because you can print heat shrink wrap labels on it. Yeah, you can see that, right? So yeah, this is the thingy. But then I learned that, like, my super basic ass, way cheaper label maker, you can also print heat shrink wrap with third-party heat shrink wrap labels, and it's like, what? So now I'm, like, thinking of selling off that fancy one instead. But the fancy one also has the feature of, I think you can USB plug it into a computer and just, like, print out labels en masse instead of having to type it in manually on, like, the tiny keyboard. So that's pretty nice. But anyway, yeah, so the sensor suite in here, and there's more, like, there's an ADC, which I can use for, like, smart armor, which I never implemented yet, but I still want to do that in the future. I'll talk about that later, or maybe in another video. And there's I think that under there, there's actually I think that's an accelerometer, like a high-range accelerometer in the bottom. Like, underneath this. Yeah, this is a 4-layer board. Yeah, I like it. I need to change this out because it's like a super cheap Amazon special. Like, I think it's like buy 15 for 20 bucks, and I think I've lost like 2 of them now. It's not great, but this is probably the best control board I've designed. And so, yeah, why did I use the foreign one? I forgot why I use it. I think I use it for space saving. Anyway, so that's a smart driving, is that this is field oriented, so it turns wherever I want it to without me having to like stop it and stuff. So the other part is the way that I control this. And so I think that the original controls that I had for it was like this trigger would throw the arm, I think, and this one would slam it back, and this would charge up the arm, and I think this would make it spin back, which I guess maybe I'd want to do that if like if I was stuck or something. But that's just extra stuff to think about. And so Josh Kong, the builder of lots of bots like Horizon and Ishtar, is his 1-pound hammer saw that's podiumed a ton. I think it won first place in South Korea. He gave me this tip to do a thing where like he mixes his controls so that when he barely taps the I don't think his controller has a trigger. I think that he's using the joystick on his. But when he barely taps the joystick, I think that spins this up, and then when he goes all the way, that throws it, so you don't really have to think that much about it. And so I have the same thing going on here, where now this control, barely tap it, spins this up, and then when I do this, it just throws it all the way, and I think this one resets it back. And I forgot what these are for exactly. I think that one of these has a spin on like a cruise setting in case I'm deciding to cruise that match, and I think the other one is like making it cruise back. No, I think this one's cruising and this one is spinning this one backwards, but I don't really use those when fighting. So yeah, this next match, actually, you'll see the improvements. Well, yeah, you should still probably see the improvements, I think, in, let's see. No, you're not going to see that improvement, actually, because the next match I put in is, okay, actually, since James is here, I'm going to go toss in the first match that we did. Just give me a bit to actually find that. Found it on YouTube. Okay, Rice Robo Rumble injection. There's like a whole playlist that someone uploaded with everything, but I think it's not labeled, so I just have to like... Oh, cool. Yeah, it was that first one. Let me just make sure this is the correct one. Alright, cool. Sweet. Alright. Okay, hopefully this doesn't break the stream. If it does, I'm sorry. Oh, that didn't do shit. Okay. Let me full screen this. How do we do that? F11, I think, plus... Okay, let me turn off specific window and turn on that input. It's gonna be a bit letterbox, but that's okay. And so this is actually gonna be Injection versus Dreadbot Fight 1 at the Rice Robo Rumble at Rice University. I think this was a week or 2 weeks after March Norwalk qualifiers. Okay, let's transition over. We have Dreadbot. So yeah, that was both a functionality test and kind of like showing off that I can stay pointed at my opponent, and also I can like swing back and forth pretty easily without really thinking about it.
Are you ready? Red square, are you ready? This fight starts in 3, 2, 1, fight!
It's you! So that was a really big hit right away. But here, unfortunately, this column is hiding everything. But, I think I take control pretty quickly. This is like the most unfortunate camera angle. Did it? Okay, so that was a very unfortunate camera angle because back here you can't see what's happening. But yeah, I think that's the point where I get this like super duper lucky hit. Like my saw just snipes his pulley, and his weapon just dead. It can't spin anymore. But the point of that, I guess, is showing that unlike those first two matches I showed, I have a lot better control because I spent like that week or 2 weeks actually dialing in the stuff. Yeah, didn't you take your forks off because you had to put the cope cage on, I think? Yeah, I think it's kind of late to send the video, and I think I have a video on my phone also, but yeah, you can upload it and totally link it in the chat with the timestamp that I have right now in the stream. That's so that people can see the better angle. Unless is it ready on YouTube? Because if it is, I'll just switch to your video then. Because I really want to show that hit. It was a really cool hit. But yeah, here I definitely have a lot more control than I had in my first matches at Norwalk. Yeah, I'm just able to corral Dreadbot pretty well.
Looks like Dreadbot's weapon has not been working.
Yeah, that's the belt for Dreadbot's weapon, so it's just not spinning anymore. And Dreadbot normally has armor on the sides, but he took that off so that he could add that top armor.
Try forcing his pin. Dreadbot attempting to pin. So that arm on injection makes it very hard to get it stuck in one place. Injection showing control. Getting some hits. I saw some high sparks.
Shit. I forgot to lock the camera. Okay, let me get back.
Try forcing his pin. Dreadbot attempting to pin. So that arm on injection makes it very hard to get it stuck in one place. Injection showing control.
Okay.
Hits. I saw some titanium.
So here I corral him in, and I'm not able to actually get a good Pearson because that titanium is really good. There's kind of a dirty secret about this fight. You'll see when this kind of ends.
They're stuck.
So they're stuck.
Joey doing much stick.
See,
I think the weapon on injection is stuck in the top.
See what happens. Okay, so that's not a hard cut. Yeah, so technically I won that fight because the fight had to be stopped because they were stuck. But they actually weren't in, like, normally when that happens, I guess it goes to JD if the EOs don't want to continue. But really, James should have won that because my failsafe actually broke and the robots were not physically stuck. Injection was just forcing itself forward and stuff, and it was actually really scary and dangerous. And that's where I learned how to apply proper watchdogs in the code so that so let me explain the watchdog kind of quickly. So the way that the program works, you have whoa, why am I like super duper off to the side? Let me fix that. Oh, I moved myself to the side. Okay, anyway, so you have like the program running in like loops and stuff, and so sometimes it can get locked up. But the problem is that when it gets locked up, then like it doesn't sometimes tell things like things connected to the microcontroller or like as peripherals inside the microcontroller. Hey, shut off that weapon. Hey, turn that signal off. So what happened is that something stopped for some reason, which has never happened in like my past 3 or so years of robot combat. And then it the execution just stopped, but the signals were still being sent to the ESC for it to keep going. And that's why my motors were stuck. And so normally I have a thing where if I don't get a signal from the Steam Deck for longer than, say, 3 seconds, then it kills everything. But the problem is that without Watchdog, it doesn't know how to check if it's not updating itself. And so the Watchdog is basically a way to run a little tiny program on the side that checks for things. And so the main program, it runs a loop, I want to say every 50 milliseconds or every 20 milliseconds or something. And so this Watchdog is like you have to send me a message every single loop. And if I don't get a message within 1 second or whatever the failsafe time I set it to is, then it hard resets everything. And that also includes turning off the signals to the motors and giving it a chance to reconnect and continue the match. It's not, if I hard reset, it's a hiccup, but it hopefully means that I can actually reconnect and continue on. But yeah, I learned that lesson the embarrassing and hard way, about how to actually use the watchdogs properly. And yeah, so technically I won that match on paper, but James, you actually should have won that match. But yeah, so that was that match. Let me go back to the video that I compiled. Okay, turn off that screen. Transition over. That's a part I keep forgetting to do, is that it's like a two-step thingy. Okay, close that out. Go back to VLC. Transition over. Okay, so this is how the second match with Dreadbot played out, because Rice was kind of weird, and they had only 3 beetles show up, so instead of having, I think the original plan was double elimination, we turned it into round robin, so we actually had multiple fights throughout the day. These transition cards are like 10 seconds.
This match starts in 3, 2, 1, fight! Robots, fight! Whoa,
so yeah, this fight starts to look kind of familiar.
Jackson trying to get back on his feet. Jackson's a little stuck there, but coming back.
Alright.
Fully functional. Jackson going for a hit. And Dreadbot's weapon. Jackson trying to get around to the side of Dreadbot.
That was fun.
Good fight. What an exciting fight we have here. Whoa! 4 big hits from Dreadbot.
Yeah, this is looking kind of like the updraft fight. Although this time I don't have the excuse that I don't have any control.
And Jackson struggling to drive.
So you can see that when I'm on my feet, I'm not able to drive, and there's a couple explanations for that led to some reasons.
Jackson, can you drive?
So I'm still clearly getting signals. Okay, so if you're not familiar, you smash the glass. Well, it's technically not glass, it's technically polycarbonate, but we shorthand it to glass to tap out. But yeah, so I said that I never tap out unless like the situation warrants it, and this was a situation that warranted it because I said it was round robin, and I thought that we'd have more matches after that. Turns out we had to cut it short because things were running a bit overtime, but yeah, I was like, this is gonna be really nasty repairs, and I have a next fight coming up, like, so I really meant I don't want to tap out if I'm gonna get eliminated from bracket, and I want to stress test my robot. But in this case, because we were round robin, I wanted to preserve my parts, so I broke my rule there.
And that is a tap out by injection. Your winner by tap out is Dreadball.
So yeah, Dreadbot wins that one, and the 2 redesigns. Let's go back to the workbench. So it's actually more like 3 redesigns. Oh shit, what's going on? Okay. So it's actually more like three redesigns. So the first thing is it's talking about how Jameson Go in his design for Megatron with like the arm being floating up. Yeah, I actually didn't read his blog close enough, and so originally this part was actually riding on the ground, completely negating the benefit of having the back traction. And so one of the issues is that this was kind of like a twofold issue, is that this was allowed to go at the ground and beyond the ground, and the gears were actually jamming too if it hit it hard enough. And I tried fixing that by upping the throttle when I throw and unthrow the arm. That just seemed to make it worse. And so the way that I fixed that, I'm trying to remember if I was able to fix it in the first arm redesign, or if it was, you guys dig through my parts. I have like a box of obsolete parts back here. Okay, it looks like I actually never fixed it. Yeah. So one of the things I actually tried to do, actually I might have them. Come on, do I have my herringbone gears? I have a herringbone gear, but it's not the right modulus. Can you hear this? I hope you can, because it's really fun sounds. Okay, yeah, there are some herringbone gears in here. Okay, screw it. Wasting time. Okay, let me open up YouTube so I get chat. Okay, so originally I had herringbone gears, because couple reasons. The chevron shape kind of helps them keep like a line side to side, and they look cool. But if they get misaligned like on the axles, then it apparently it gets stuck harder than if you have like normal ones. So I just switched to normal spur gears after that to help it not walk up anymore. That wasn't the complete fix, but it fixed it a little more. And I also had it so that I also reread Jamo's blog and saw the part where the back actually has to float off so that you get the weight contributing for extra traction. And I fixed it so that you could do that. There was a little so there's a space here that has like a titanium plate that protects these gears. And so I added like a little thingy to constrain it so that it stays floated up. The redesign doesn't need that, but the old one did. And so the problem was actually I was actually high centered on my own arm. And so the second thing was I don't have the old ones, but the back wheel axles, they were actually like I think just 5mm aluminum standoffs. And I don't know if I have pictures of battle damage from that fight, but they were bent like crazy. And so I switched it over to these steel partially threaded screws, and seemed to be better. So yeah. Let's see. Any other lessons learned? I talked about the watchdog, talked about the high centering, and actually getting it to float the arm instead of have it like just dragging on the floor, and the upgrades I did to the to the drive system. Yeah. Oh, there's also another thing. So these TPU sleeves, they're used to try to prevent, because like the BHMW, it's a fairly flexible plastic, and so if I get hit, especially by a vertical spinner, then wheels go up, and that's going to twist it so that the motor goes down. And I think I broke a couple of my motors by like there's like no space between the bottom of the motor and the bottom of the cavity that sat in. So essentially, to exaggerate it, like if I took a really big hit like from this way, then it would like go bonk, and it would just really fuck shit up. So I also made that a bit higher, and I added these TPU sleeves to add a bit more space. In the end, it turns out that it wasn't enough space, which is another reason for me to switch to the Blitz lights, because I got so much more space because the can is so small. Let me see if I have any Blitz lights here. So yeah, I have the Blitz lights, and they are so much smaller, and it looks like that from people that have used them in the recent events, they're really happy with it. And I'll also be able to shave like, what, probably a whole 15 or so millimeters of overall width, which is just more weight back to put into armor or forks or whatever, so that's good. Like that's probably maybe 20-30 grams of weight, just like cutting off a ring section of that. So yeah, that's a thing. All right, let's get to the next fights. Ice. Damn, we're on 2 hours already on the stream. Alright, so this is a Red Dirt Rumble at Laterno University, up in, I think, Longview, Texas. And, this is Injection versus Above Average. Above Average is driven by, Peter Garnacci. And, it's a huge style big wheel robot. And I think it's called Above Average because its height is above average and because Peter is very tall. And so I'm running an interesting config here based off Sawblaze's config, or at least what I could try to hack together, because Peter was keeping Above Average completely secret until the event, and when he showed up, I was like, God damn it, that's the one config I don't have, is an anti-huge config. So I just looked up what Sawblaze looked like in the final at BattleBots against Huge, and try to do a thing where like I'd have like these little, like these kind of, I guess you can call them like vertical forks, to try to catch the body of of Above Average and keep the blade away from me. And I also did some weird things. I'll try to pause and find a better angle for it, but I use these like weird shapes, and I said I wasn't going to use the UHMW forks, but this time it's against a big wheel robot, so I didn't need a ground scrape, and it kind of works as they're really light. It worked this time because I wasn't using them as forks, but I had like a single fork that has like a kind of a top piece, so I'd be like, yeah, I can shape my arm like that. Okay, so the idea was that I try to jam it into the wheels to stop his locomotion, and then try to go in for the hits.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1, fight!
Yeah, this arena is really cool. It's basically is that a D20? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, oh, no, I can count from here. 1, 2. Yeah, so then that's 10. And then that's 5, and that, yeah, so it's like a partial D20. I'm not sure if it's the most practical shape. especially since you don't need all that vertical space, but it is a really cool arena, I'll give them that. So this is a weird match, just because, like, kind of two very awkward shaped robots that have to fight against each other. But this and the next fight exposed probably the biggest weakness that Injection had that was like the biggest point of redesign. Between the first 4 events that were in the spring and the 2 events I had during the summer. So I think that the fork thingies that I tried out in the front, I think that they partially worked, but like, I also just repurposed random bits of UHMW I found in my case. If I had and I actually made purpose-built anti-huge config fork, or I guess like front vertical fork things, out of titanium that were kind of refined from this design. I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, I know what's going on actually during this match. I think I'm losing radio control or radio connection, which is why it seems to work until he finds sometimes and other times it's completely dead. But I think that it's happened by now. The one Achilles heel of this design. I'll go back if it doesn't show again. Now that I think about it, I wonder if there's strategy to trying to keep the fight as close to you as possible. If Peter's intentionally keeping us in front of him so he gets a better look, because I'm fighting closer on the side of my camera. I should probably consider that. Yeah, Peter has dumpies for a reason. He's a great driver. Is that the fight ending? Yeah, that looks like a fight ending because Peter's not looking like he's trying to drive now. Okay, so yeah, that one went to judge's decision. Let me find an angle here. So this little tiny, I wonder if I can zoom in. Can I zoom in? Okay, whatever. So see these little tiny black things? Those are the wires to the weapon, and so that's the one big super weak point of this version of Injection, is that the saw wires were really exposed. And so, yeah, let's go back to the end of that fight. So yeah, I lost that one by JD, and if I'm trying to remember correctly, it was actually really close, but ultimately it was the loss of my weapon function on the saw that I think tipped it over for above average. So this time we're going to University of Houston's Cougar Cup. Oh, shit. Okay, so it wasn't against above average. It's against Valstrax from University of Texas's team. So no, that's not above average, it's Valstrax. But Valstrax is a 4-wheel drive vertical disc. And so this match was kind of spicy because they were freaking out that they had nothing to like improvise any top armor with, and it's just pure TPU. So if I got one hit through the top of their body, that could have been a one-hit KO. But watch this closely. Because I think by now, yep, you can see it here again. My wires to the saw are already sniped. So no matter how hard I can control, which I can't because that side of my drive is also messed up, there's no way I can get anything in, and at this time, match is basically kill. Oh, and you can also see I'm struggling to self-right when the arm is in the back.
You got the one cable, don't tap.
So yeah, this is a pretty familiar story where I can't do anything except really just like kind of use my arm as like a shitty hammer. Like the saw and the hammer saw is just gone. And there's only so much aggression they can score in this way, and you're going to be scoring no damage. So unless I had like a miracle thing, which has happened before, because I've won a match one time with a different robot, even though I got like super chewed up because the driver forgot to charge his batteries and did a little joyride the day before and just died like 30 seconds before the match ended. So sometimes you can win that way, which is another reason I don't like to tap out. But yeah, my saw is just not connected at all, and something's going on with the right side. I forgot what it is. I think that this is the thing I was actually talking about, where like the side rail for the drive just twists and it just bonks the Blitz Pro motor into the bottom of the chassis and just kills it.
It's like at the middle.
So one really nice thing though about like a hammer saw is because like you have like an unbalanced load swinging back and forth. It really helps rock your robot off of stuff. And so if you get high centered, you can get off that high centered, you can get off that debris or whatever it is very easily just by swinging your arm around. So yeah, those two matches, they led to a major redesign between, because I believe this is the last event that I had in the spring before I decided to do like some redesigns. And so that led to a major redesign where instead of having like a double supported arm with like this part of the wiring exposed and then this part exposed into the chassis, because like there used to be just a couple inches where like just pop out here and then go into here, but even then that was enough to snipe it. And it got sniped so many times, and a lot of them led to close JDs where I lost. And so, I mean, that one last match was not close. That was definitely a clear Valstrax win. But that's why I have this. Let me see if I have a... Oh, no, I already took it apart. Okay. So, that's why I have redesigned the arm. So, here's some changes. The first one is that the gear size, like, this gear size is the same, but the gear size on the arm itself is significantly better. I want to say the ratio for this is 2-to-1, and this one's 3-to-1. Maybe it's 1-to-3. I forgot if I'm getting it backwards. I'm not a mechanical engineer. And so, yeah, that's the first thing, because I was I was having issues with it, like, starting up on the throws, and when I was trying to self-right, especially if I had, like, long forks, if I was, like, this way around, it would struggle. Now, if I was this way around, it was super easy to self-right. Let's see what else. I ordered these titanium bolts, which are expensive and overkill, but at least it's only one per chassis. But, yeah, that is so much lighter than the steel bolts I was originally using. And I think that it's M8 in size. Let's see what else. The axle is double supported, instead of it being like, I don't have the original uprights, but before the axle would just go here and then it wouldn't go through here. So it had that same twisting issue, which is why I was jamming so much. And now the axle actually pokes through and is supported on the other side, so it can't get misaligned. But the biggest change by far is going away from the double supported, from like the double arm thingy to a single arm. And yeah, might as well take this one apart too. So yeah, let's take it apart. Alright. So we have this here. And so this is one of the more annoying parts to assemble, just because there's like a very specific order of operations. Oh, these little bits are just for the weapon lock. They don't really do anything. So yeah. I like to come to the events with like the with some assemblies pre-made ahead of time, instead of just having the individual parts. And so the what's it called? This weapon assembly is definitely one of those. Do I have the shit? I don't have it right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna use wrenches. Where's my vampires there? Ow. Yeah, I don't want to take off the hubs or the gears, because I have to heat it up with the heat gun, and it's like I have to set it again, and it's kind of a waste of time, and you don't really reveal that much more through it. Okay, so yeah, this is what I was talking about, is that this part of the full-length axle sticks into here, so it really helps prevent some of the misalignment. The way that the gears work, you have the 3D printed gear, and then there are, I think, 2 steel collar locks, I think they're called, and they are glued in to the gear, and then the grub screw helps constrain it. And it's also green Loctited in so that doesn't slip, which these are some like crazy loads that it experiences, so we definitely need that. And for both the drive and the CUHMW is pocketed to save weight. So take that out, and then this is how I have the arm hollowed out so that you can swing this arm and have some of the slack, and it doesn't like break the wires or anything, but everything is fully enclosed so that there be no exposed wires for a weapon to snipe. So let's disassemble this. And then let's see. Is it actually spinning? No, it's not. I think this is like one of the few imperial instead of metric parts, but for some reason I am still bringing out my metric hex. Oop. That was a bit spicy. Don't know why that's not pulling out as easily. That should be like really loose. Oh yeah, something that you'll notice that's a bit different between this and this arm is the angle that these are at, and so I've tried experimenting with having the back thing, which is still necessary even if it doesn't ride the floor anymore, because it helps, like, if I do wheelie anyway, it helps prevent it from, like, me sticking myself into the floor. No, that's too big. Okay. Getting really close to assembling this. So the blade is AR600, and one of my buddies at the makerspace, I think Secret Sauce Manufacturing is his online name, he actually helped me laser cut this from some offcuts that I bought on eBay from, I think, Tri-City. And so we have, if we disconnect this, we can actually take it completely apart, wires and all. Can we? Oh no, we can't, because we can't slip this through, I don't think. Okay, so this is the only part that's kind of locked, but this is the furthest that we can actually disassemble this other than... Oh wait, there's also these bits. Okay, so yeah. This is UHMW, this is titanium. I had a version that used carbon fiber, but it actually snaps, so it needs titanium at minimum. This hole here is also for the weapon lock for the saw itself. I don't want to take this part apart because it's kind of a pain in the ass, but yeah, it's this is the repeat hub motor, and it's just restrained the normal way that it is. And so yeah, the order of operations, you stick that in, then you stick this in, and then you add the electrical tape, which I'm reusing the old one because I don't feel like finding my other one, and this isn't going to go into battle again anyway in this form. I'm going to be redesigning everything. So I have electrical tape here, and that's just in case, like, in case the slack is not enough or it gets, like, shoved up or something, so that it doesn't, like, pull itself apart. Why did I just... Are my trackers dead or something? Okay, no. I just briefly lost track. Let me know if my tracking goes nuts, because... Well, yeah, it's gonna go nuts because I have... My third lighthouse broke, so I'm only on 2 lighthouses right now. The lighthouses are the things that the Steam VR trackers see to know where they're at. Which way does it go? Yeah, it's that way. Actually, maybe let's not do that one first. It's really crunchy for some reason. So yeah, that's how I keep the wires protected. And since then, I have not had a single loss of the saw due to the wire getting sniped. It's a little finicky, which is why I don't like assembling it, and why I prefer to have like have it pre-assembled before going to events. Ooh. Let's set that to some low. That could be a bit lower. Oh, shit, I forgot the, Oh yeah, and that bend that I mentioned helps it go over some beaters and other designs without breaking the arm on my opponent's weapon. Oop. Close enough. Actually, that shouldn't be that tight. I like the part where I slightly don't know what I'm doing if I'm trying to talk at the same time. This is why at, like, events, sometimes I'll just put in my AirPods, like, I don't want to be mean or, like, an asshole or antisocial, but, like, I just have trouble actually concentrating while talking at the same time. So if I'm, like, really trying to get stuff done, I'll just put those AirPods in and try to gesture, please don't talk to me right now. Actually, I think it's the shorter ones that go in, and then how long are the ones that go in for the gear? Yeah, I'll just put that one in for now. And then, yeah, based off that. And I like to do it over instead of under, just because like over, it's going to be at the maximum extension of the wire, and then you get that slack pushed in. Well, if it's like this, and I build it this way with it being like that, then it might accidentally pull stuff out and disconnect things. Or at least that's my theory behind it. I know how that actually works in practice. Okay, so this part, what I like to do is just keep this in constrained, and we only have the partial gear because we don't need all of it since we're not traveling all the way. Boopster can do that though. Boopster's a cool robot. Okay, I think I need the longer plastites for that. Yeah, Boopster is a 360 hammer saw that can also, I don't even think that this type of robot has a name yet, but like it can also like under hammer saw you. So its hammer saw doesn't just go from the top, it can also go from the bottom. It's a really weird design, and it's quite effective. It was one of the hammer saws that did really well in June at NHRL. For some reason, June had like maybe 13 or so beetle hammer saws, and a few in the bigger weight classes. Okay, so that's in, and we can put the rest of those in later. And then, is it literally just that? Yeah, I think it is. Oh, I almost forgot that. Where's the titanium bolt? Or titanium nut? These nuts. Oh, I need to put that, like, back titanium plate on. There it is. If I can screw that on by hand, then that means I need to replace it. That is not seating in. It should be close enough. Alright. So yeah, fully protected wiring. That's how I do it. I'm not gonna bother like Loctiting any of this because it's all gonna be taken apart anyway for the 2.0 build. And I have like a proper socket for this, but I forgot where I put it. So we're being awkward right now with these two wrenches and pliers. And then the back titanium bit. Oop. So yeah, ideally you want to be able to repair or replace any part in the robot that you need to in about 20 minutes. And this includes battery changes and other required maintenance that you may need to do between matches. Because when you get that far, the match, like, when it goes from, like, you have 32 or something matches in the bracket per round to, like, 1, then that time really shrinks down like crazy. But yeah, that's the hammer saw arm assembly. So yeah, let's get back to the fights. And I think this is one that demonstrates the benefit of having all of those wires contained and having that bend on the hammer saw arm. So this is at Texas Robot Combat in June, or no, end of May. This is against Machination, which is similar to some of the other bots that we saw before. It's a four-wheel drive beater. Is it a beater or is it a Drisk?
Fight robot fight! Projection comes out quickly.
Can't tell from this angle. I think it's a beater.
Machination gets a nice hit on the side of injection. That gets the backside, underside. Starts tearing up injection. Injection.
So yeah, it's not the greatest start.
Oh, get to that back arm.
But
injection. Oh, it's starting to spin on its blade. Goes to the pin. Spins up. It's able to come down. And it is a big hit. Needs a release.
So I'm stuck. I can't get out actually. And if we go back,
oh, it's starting to
you can
spin
actually
on its blade.
see. I just tried to point at the screen with my real finger, not the mouse, but you can see here, watch these lights. So I talked about how if I tap the trigger a little bit, then it starts spinning, and then when I like pull it all the way, then it throws the arm completely. And so I think between the last fight that I showed and this one, I added a thing where we actually have a countdown on those arms. You can see it on the LEDs. You can see it charge up, and then it does like this kind of like crazy like it's on fire effect. So that's when it should be up to speed. Right now it's just timing based. I'd like to connect it to telemetry from the ESC so that it's the real speed. But yeah, you can see it starts here and it's gonna count up, and then when it turns orangey, then I throw it.
Spins up, it's able to come down, and it is a big hit. Needs a release. Pause the match. Put your controllers down, and we're going to separate the robots.
So this part takes a while, so I have to speed up. You can see Ryan. And then we reset the match. I forget why. Yeah, actually, I forgot why we did that instead of just separate the two and then continue.
Machination, are you ready? Injection, are you
now,
ready?
unfortunately, I think the driver of Machination's in front of the camera, but, like, you can just hear from the commentary what happens.
Let us continue in 3, 2, 1. Fight, robots, fight! And there we go. But unfortunately, Machination is dead and tries to move.
So, I'm not sure if you could hear it, but the announcer says, unfortunately, Machination is dead.
Now,
10, 9,
and it's getting counted out.
7,
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This fight is over. Injection is your winner.
So yeah, I won that one by KO. It really could have gone the other way if I didn't get that that really good pin. But that's one of the really good strengths of hammer saws, is that if your opponent doesn't quite have the necessary armor that they need, then one hit can change everything. And actually, let me go grab my, because the builder gave me the top plate from that. Yeah, let's hit the pause screen. Okay, I think we're back. Yeah, looks like I'm back. Okay, so this is the top plate from Machination, and the blade went right through, and I think he actually stacked 2 of these carbon fiber plates. And so the crazy part, though, was that there's almost no damage inside. What happened was I literally unplugged the battery. The battery connector wasn't even damaged. It was just unplugged. So, yeah. Oh, thanks for coming. Yeah, it was really fun chatting with you. Yeah, so I unplugged my opponent's battery, and that's how they got knocked out. But yeah, that's just kind of the surgical damage that a hammer saw can do, which I didn't realize also kind of fits with like the theme, because like the theme for Injection, which is a bit weird because like all my past stuff has been like really obviously like cyberpunk or like tech related, and like Injection sounds medical, but I actually named it after a sequel, Injection Attack. And I guess there's the newer cyber attack form of prompt injection, where if something is AI powered, then like if you can figure out how to give it a prompt instead of whatever it's asking for, then you can really make it fuck shit up. But yeah, so yeah, just you can mess stuff up surgically with a hammer saw. It's pretty fun, and not gonna lie, there's kind of a sadistic like enjoyment to when you have your opponent pinned and you're just spinning up and they can't get out and they're like, is this it? Is this when I die? Yeah. But yeah, let's watch more fights. These title cards are way longer than they need to be. Okay, so this is possibly my cleanest win, I think. Clean in terms of like, because I don't play dirty, but I mean, I guess just in terms of clean execution, that is. Oh no, I spoiled the fight. Oh well. Alright. So, Simian Rage is a super duper wide beater, and at NHRL they have a weight bonus for if you have a shuffler. So this has shuffler pods also. So this thing is like, I think 4.5 pounds while I'm 3 pounds. So yeah, that's a lot to deal with. Fortunately for me, it is not nearly as fast as my other opponents. So one of the weird things though is just how wide it is though, and how short it is in depth, or I guess in length. Because a couple times I try to corral it in, and instead I just drive underneath it, and then I take some damage on the top, some scuffs from that drum. This is a really good, ooh. Yeah, this is a really good case for me to actually have that completely enclosed wiring on the arm, because I'm pretty sure that, like, the couple times that I end up just going underneath and getting, like, grazed by the, drum, if it was with the old design, then those weapon wires would have been sniped for sure. So I get stuck on this very visible state. And yeah, that's what I was talking about, is that like I try to get underneath and I just roll through where the top is grazed. So yeah, and this is where I get a really nice pin in. Yeah, and then it stops moving, and not gonna lie, I don't think I had to do this extra hit. Kinda regret doing that, because this was their only fight of the day, and I'm like, damn, if I didn't do that extra hit, they may have been able to do the rest of the fights. I think I was just really excited that I had a really good position on that, but I shouldn't do that anymore. But yeah, that was a tap out. Yeah. And then I think this upcoming fight is the last one. Doop, 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 doop. Let me go get my fizzy water. It is HEB orange sparkling water. So yeah, this is against, oh crap, I hope I didn't mute it, okay. So this is against Eviscerator. This is the first match I have in the bracket, in the qualifiers, because I won Did I win all 3 of them? Who was my second opponent? No, I didn't, because my first opponent was the one I just showed, Simeon Range. Second one was Sad Octopus. Really good driver, really scary bot. Lost that one pretty much the same way I lost against Updraft in the second Dreadbot match. And so I won my third one against, I think, Trick or Beater is the name of it. So this is my first match in the qualifiers. Woo! That was actually not a bad first hit. If I was able to... I wish I was able to get that. Yeah, this one's really brutal, and Eviscerator driver is just really, really good. And at this point, I have a fork perfectly bent up, and does it come off? Yeah, it comes off here. And they're just absolutely controlling this match. I forget what's going on with my drive here, because this side's not working anymore. And the protector on the other side is gone. But yeah, one of the things I really need to change is, I think that my wheels have too much solid TPU in them, and I probably need to, like, make them more hollow, so that the shock doesn't get to the gearboxes. I'm pretty sure that there's something, pretty sure that one of the gearboxes is locked up or something, and I could probably just use, like, yeah, the drivetrain just needs a redesign. And I think I'm having intermittent connection issues too, just because I don't think I've really solved that. Is when I take like super duper big hits, sometimes I just get a brownout. But at least the weapon's still spinning. I forget what's going on with the arm. Okay, so the arm's still working. I think it's a connection issue. But yeah, that's okay, that was an unstick. That wasn't the match ending. Like, there's still a minute left in this video. But yeah, again, I'm not tapping out because I want to stress test and see where the weak points are. It's pretty clear that it's a drivetrain now, because my arm's still going like crazy. The saw's still oh yeah! This is the event that I finally get my shock suit working, and so the Steam Deck actually connects to an accessory called the Owo skin, which is like a shirt that has a bunch of electrodes embedded into it, and every time I take a hit, I get shocked. And I got shocked a lot during this match. There's a reel actually by an HRL that has me detailing it, so I'll go post the link to that in the comments after this stream. But yeah, that was my last fight with Injection that I've done since, and I think I'm going to be doing a total redesign. Just based off things I can't really change easily with the current design that warrants a total redesign, mostly with the drivetrain. But yeah, okay, let's finish reassembling the robot then. Okay, so we have the weapon assembly. I didn't take part in this one. I said during the stream that I was gonna take the entire thing apart, but I changed my mind because I'm a little bit lazy. I really just mostly wanted to do a teardown. Wait, what's going on? Did I already reassemble most of it? I did. So I literally just need to find the screws for them and put the wheel guard back on. Okay. Yeah, I guess I did already disassemble and partially reassemble that that drive assembly. So yeah, this is a thing where I could probably use one of those like spring steel flange things I was talking about, because it's pretty easy to screw this too far in and make it go through the TPU. And then we have this. Is that supposed to be a bit? Yeah. And so I'm kind of wondering what to do next in terms of robot combat content. I think I want to do in-depth event recaps, because right now I just showed like 1 or 2 fights from like a bunch of different events. But it'd be nice if I did a stream per event, just kind of recapping each one, or maybe like 2 events per stream. Yeah, what's the order of operations we want? I think we want to do, yeah, we want to do the drive pods first. And so there's extra holes in here, because I changed the hole pattern a few times. Yeah. So we're just gonna put like a few of the screws in here. I used to have washers in here, because like it would crack the, because the bottom plate used to be carbon fiber, but when I switched to G10, it stopped being an issue. So I don't have those washers, and that saves me some weight, because every single gram matters. I'm at the point where I'm like playing which are my least favorite screws, because I'm like maybe 5 grams overweight if every single screw is in there. So you're like, I'm fighting against this kind of opponent, so I don't need these screws here. Okay, we have the drive in, and then what next? We want to put the electronics in. So, I used to make everything super modular, but at this point I think it's easier to just, to have kind of a big-ass rat's nest. I think it's more reliable because there's less connectors to worry about like breaking off and less soldering points, and you're also space saving since connectors take a deceptive amount of space inside the bot. Where is this? Is this the arm? Yeah, that's the arm. So normally it's zip tie, but again, I'm going to take this apart pretty soon anyway, so no point in doing that. Oh, right. Don't know if I have them, but this actually controls the LEDs that are on the sides, which were missing from this assembly during the teardown. And then here, I just use 2 plastites, 2 tiny ones that don't use the, what's it called? I use T10 instead of T15. I hope that's the right one. And then I think the other one was like silver colored or something. Wherever it is. Oh no, it wasn't just this tiny one. Oh no, this is too big. Oh wow. So, oh no, this was the silver one. Oops, I put one in that was too big. Okay. I'm surprised that the T10 Torx actually managed to turn that, because that's supposed to be T15. But it's probably not a good habit to do that. Sounds like a good way to strip either the head or the bit. Okay, so these two connect to the saw and the arm. So this part... Actually, I'm gonna get zip ties. No, I don't have the zip ties are in another room. I'll just wiggle it in. And, like, not screw it in all the way. Because I don't, like, chop the wires. Yeah. So if you're wondering what the heck this blade shape is, and why it's aluminum, this is, like, the safety drive practice blade. So actually drive it without it being, like, covered, and if it touches anything, it's like a friction burn, or, like, grinds it away a little bit, but it's nowhere near, like, taking an entire blade to your flesh or belongings and stuff. So, yeah, I mean, it's not 100% safe, but it's way safer, and I like to take a harm reduction sort of attitude towards that. So I can't screw that in yet, because some of the wires are not quite where they should be. Just, like, wiggle that in there. Okay, yeah, now they're where they should be. Oh wait, I need to switch this to T15. Injection was also designed to be modular in weapons. I never got to make the other modules, but yeah, I did plan to be able to, like, have just a vert spinner module, have, like, a jackalopes, or, like, a Terratop style config where the, where there's, like, a fixed fixed vertical spinner and, like, a lifter at the same time. But the lifter is not, or the, vertical spinner is not on the lifter, like a whiplash type bot. But yeah, that could just be, oh shit, no, that's one of the ones where, there's, like, a screw in the way, you just have to use, like, the shorter one. Or no, I forgot, it's been a while since I built this. Yeah, we're really close. Alright. So, normally I cram, like, some, what's it called, bubble wrap in here. Let me see if I have the LED strips. If I do, might as well put them in, because they're fun. Yeah, I do. Cool. Alright. So, we have the LED strips here. Plugs in that little tiny connector. Kind of forgot what I did to constrain the wiring so that, like, it doesn't get caught in the path of the arm, but there was a thing that I did. I just kind of forgot what it was. So these sit here. Oh, I forgot to plug in the arm, and I'm gonna pretend to plug in the saw, but just to be safe, I'm not actually gonna plug it in. So yeah, let's just pretend that I hooked that up. So that all gets crammed into there. And then, actually I don't think that these batteries will fit. Let's take a, because I normally run 650 milliamp hours in there, not a 850. 850 is just a little thicker. Where'd my box of batteries go? Batteries, where are you? Looking around my office for batteries. You know, it's not a good thing if you don't know where your lipos are, because that's kind of a ticking time bomb. Screw it, we're gonna pretend the scrunchie is the battery. Okay, pretend. Oh, what's up? What's up, Chris? Yeah, pretend this scrunchie is the battery. Battery's in here. Or actually, can I just shove this duty in here? Yeah, I think it goes in like that. Now, this one's weirdly, it's not puffy, it's just fat for some reason. You know, I don't want to force a battery in there. We're gonna pretend the scrunchie is a battery. Because Brian still has the actual batteries. Yeah, and then we just put the top plates on. Injection's next event. I was planning on TRC December, but two things kind of got in the way of that. One of them is that my full-time contract work ended a bit sooner than I thought it would, so I need to focus on that and can't really spend robot money at the moment. But I don't want to screw that in yet. The other thing is, I'm actually going to be taking a trip to Germany for the Christmas markets, but they also happen to be during TRC. So next event is probably not going to be till next year. But yeah, I am really excited though for Injection 2.0. I think I found a robot archetype that I want to stick with. But if there's other robot designs I want to do before Injection 2.0, I think the one that I've been thinking about a lot, I call it a Thagomelty. So it's like a Thagomizer style robot, which, for those unfamiliar with what a Thagomizer is, so imagine like Tombstone, or actually if you know what Maximizer from NHRL is, the prototype for that was Thagomizer, built by Sean Thagomizer, that's his name. Yeah. He also runs Strike Point, but so basically imagine Tombstone from BattleBots, which is like two wheels with a big fuck you horizontal spinner blade on the front. Now let's make it extra long, and so let's also take Ray Billings' driving style, where he baits you into coming into him forward, and then he spins around and smacks you in the side. Except that now that you're super duper long, you can really swing in at high velocity, and it just really poggers, and it's such a good design that you have. I think Thagomizer itself has done extremely well at events. And then you have a Maximizer made by Jake that has consistently won the Dumpy in 12-pound at NHRL. And so let's take that, combine it with a Melty Brain. Melty Brain, for those unfamiliar, is a type of robot that it's almost like a full body spinner, except for instead of it being like a shell that spins around a base that drives around normally, the entire thing spins. The entire mass of the robot spins. And so it's the wheels, instead of a separate motor, that power that. And it uses crazy, I think it's called translational drift, where it's like computer-controlled micro adjustments in the wheel speed as it spins around. So that like it's slightly like, oh, I have full body tracking. I can demonstrate it. Okay, so let's go to office view. So normally, if you just spin, you spin in place. Yeah. Now translational drift is making those slight adjustments so that you can spin while moving in a direction. So it's like this. Ooh, wait, sorry, I bumped my arm into something. There's too much crap in here. So it's like that. So that's what a Melty Brain does. I'm gonna do it again because that was really fun. My arm's gonna be up because I keep bumping this stuff. So yeah, that's what a melty brain does. And it's really cool. And so imagine a thagamelty is where you combine the two, where let's pretend that this is like the spinning weapon. So you're like, and then you just slam into your opponent while spinning around super fast. Yeah, mega bite on that. Like big size bite, not like a mega bite, the full body spinner. So that's my concept for a thagamelty, and it's something that I really, really want to try. But yeah. Alright, we are almost done building this. We just need to put some ground game on the front. So I'm gonna get those flangey thingies I was talking about. If someone knows the proper word for them, I'd like to know what they are. And so the next ones I build will probably be with titanium instead of spring steel. I also love that I can just cut titanium anytime I want at my makerspace on the Tormach, because it's way cheaper than almost every online service I can find for titanium, and I know where to get it for super cheap. Look up a place called Sack-In Metals. They sell a bunch of like industrial offcuts, I guess, of titanium for like super duper duper cheap. I want to say it's like 5 times cheaper than if you bought sheets of it off McMaster or something. But yeah, so the way that I do this, and I'm not using the right screw length because I'm lazy right now. But let me see if I can play with the reflection. Oh shit, I forgot to switch cameras. Okay, let's switch cameras. Okay. There we go. I don't even know what I was doing. Oh, we were just talking about ground game. Okay, so I haven't actually built anything yet. Okay, so, yeah, we're on the right view. So I have, like, these little spring steel thingies, which are, I guess, I kind of call them, like, super washers, or, like, super flanges or something, but anyway, they stop the bolts from the screw heads from being, pulled through the TPU. And it's really nice if I can stack them on, like, a bunch of, holes that are near each other. Let me move these. Actually, no, I don't need to move them. There we go. Yeah, the ones that I had were just a little too short. So, yeah, the attachment is not really great, though. You need to find a better way to attach the ground game, because you saw in most of those fights that things tended to pull off. So I think if there's 2 really big things to improve on injection for 2.0, it's the drivetrain reliability and robustness, and it's also the way that I attach forks and stuff. But yeah, it's easier to just pre-insert these screws. Since this is TP, I can just bend the little forkies out of the way. Alright, so this is the last piece to put in. Those last screws. And there we go. We have a rebuilt injection. sans attire. But yeah, that's a teardown. Fuck it, I'll just do it for a completion bonus. Just put the rest of those little screws in there. Yeah, I think that I should do a separate video on her control system, since that's like a whole entire different thing already. And, oh, there's one little detail. Also forgot that was kind of a major change for the hammer saw, was the blade got a bit bigger. So yeah, this is the original blade this has a practice blade on it, but originally this was the blade that was on there. And so if we compare the size, that's a significantly larger radius. But the weird thing though is that I think that the repeat hub motor has a higher kV. I didn't change the, what's it called? I didn't change the voltage, and I changed the diameter, so theoretically, this tip speed was almost, I think it was like, what was the crazy number Ricky gave me? It was something like 350 miles per hour, I think, tip speed. So I thought this would be like 400, but it was actually lower. I think that it was just 250 or so. And with a hammer saw, because you can throw that arm super fast, you can actually benefit from like mega fast blade speeds, because you can really control that. But my guess is that maybe it's the pocketing in the blade that may have screwed up the aerodynamics, because at that speed, I'm sure that aerodynamics are playing a role in it. So I'm thinking of like maybe cutting some vinyl to go over it so that it smooths out those holes. But yeah, that's a tore through injection. That went really cool. I've never done a stream like this before. All of my teardowns of my projects have been pre-edited videos, so yeah, I am excited to do more of these in the future. I definitely want to do them with my other two bots, 2FA and Data Collector. And let's see, the Bloodsport face-offs episode should be coming around fairly soonish. So been talking about the team, and we do want to do a content push for that, so I'll be happy to explain the telemetry system. But yeah, alright, thanks for tuning in. I'm logging off. Bye bye.